This is video 2 on the Circle Tool project. We've completed the initial sketch and extruded our shape, so we have this general shape. We don't have our little adds there where we will bolt the cap to, but or connect the cap with. What we're going to do in the second sketch is create these cutouts. There's one on each side. If you look at this sketch here, I need to restart because I'm on the wrong screen. This is the second sketch on the crank arm project, the Circle Tool project that we will be doing in class. In this particular, let's see, we've created our general shape here. We haven't added where we connect the end cap to it that completes our design, where it wraps around the crankshaft. Well, that'll be our last step. But we have created this basic shape in the first video. Now we're going to create these cutouts. If we look at this diagram over here, we see that, and as we extruded in the last step of the first video, we extruded to a height of 15 millimeters, but we see that we've got these cutouts on both sides, here and here. This is going to be the front, and that the cutouts are 5 millimeters deep. This is leaving 5 millimeters in the center here. We're going to create the sketch one time. We will use the extrude tool to cut out the 5 millimeters on the front. Then we're going to use that sketch for second extrusion, where we're going to change our starting point from the profile plane to an object, and we're going to turn our design around and start our extrusion from the back side and cut in 5 millimeters from the back. So we're going to create this shape here, and that's what we're going to extrude. So we see that the line is 10 millimeters from the edge. We're going to use the offset tool as we create a sketch on this front surface. The corners have a radius around it, and with a radius of 4 millimeters. We see that the design starts 25 millimeters above the origin here, and the top line's 75 millimeters above the origin here, or 50 millimeters above the bottom line. That gives us enough to create it. So let's go to our design, create sketch. I'm going to select this face. Let's fit. There we are. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is let's offset these edges. So let's go Modify, Offset. Right here, keyboard shortcut of O. Comes up with Chain Selection checked. I'm going to uncheck Chain Selection. Select this line, -10. Click OK or Enter. There's my first one. Let's do the other side. There's my shortcut. Well, chain selection is deselected. Select this one, -10 again. And there are two lines running 10 millimeters parallel to my shape there. Okay, so we've got that. Now let's connect those two lines by drawing two horizontal lines. So create line. There's my shortcut, keyboard shortcut of L. I'm going to make sure that they are horizontal. All right, 0 degrees. It gave me my horizontal constraint, so I'm good. Let's start up here. There it is. I've got the blue X's where I'm connecting the lines. Okay, and it gave me a parallel constraint, so that must be horizontal as well. All right, let's review our distances again. The bottom line is 25 millimeters above the origin, and the top line is 50 millimeters above the bottom. And the corners are rounded, so we're going to add a fillet with a radius of 4 millimeters. All right, so sketch dimension tool, create sketch dimension. I shouldn't have to say that at this point in time. You all should be well aware of that tool. The origin, click. This line, click. Come out. Let's set the dimension at 25 millimeters. Enter. All right, now this line, we can either set it 75 millimeters above here or 50 millimeters above this line. So I'm going to select that line, this line, and I'm going to set it to be 50. And there is these two lines are positioned now. Let's go modify, fillet. There's the shortcut, fillet. Select, doesn't let me select a corner, so I'm going to select this line and this line, 4 millimeters, this line, and this line, this line, and this line, this line, and this line. Enter. And it removed my excess in there. I believe my sketch is done. I have the shape that I'm going to cut out on both sides, both faces of my design. Let's finish sketch. Let's bring our design back up. So right here, these dotted lines show me the internal cutout here. So it's 5 millimeters on each side, 15 millimeters total in width, leaving a 5 millimeter thickness there in the middle. All right. Let's go to the home position. Let's extrude, create, extrude, keyboard shortcut of E. There's the shortcut in the toolbar. I'm going to select my profile. I'm going to go negative 5 millimeters. There's my cutout on the front. My operations cut, click OK. Now, I want to do it again, but I want to do it on the other side. So this is new to us. We haven't seen this yet. We are going to extrude our sketch, which is going to be sketch 2. Look here in the timeline, sketch 1, sketch 2. Okay, I can go here, make sketch 2 visible. I'm going to click on the eyeball by sketch 2. Sketch 2 is visible. Let's go create, extrude. And what I'm going to do now is I don't want to start my sketch from where sketch 2 is currently located. I want to change the starting point. So there's start. I'm going to change it from profile plane to object. And now I have a new selection, which allows me to select my starting point. I'm going to take the view cube, spin it around. There's my back face. That's where I want to start it. Oh, I haven't selected my profile yet. Let's go back and select our profile. Can I get it there? Yeah, I think so. Yes, I did. No, yes, okay. And there's my arrow pointing this direction. So this time we are going to go 5 millimeters. 5 millimeters. It cuts it out. Okay. Cut is my operation. Click OK. So I've got my cutout in the back. There's the cutout in the front. Let's hide sketch 2. And now we're ready to create our points where we will connect the these objects, where we're going to connect the end cap where the pin will go through. Now we see that these holes are 5 millimeters. Okay, there's our 15 millimeter width. Let's take a look at this sketch and see what we're going to do. It's a PDF document, so I can zoom it up as much as I need. All right, it looks like I'm going to create a rectangle here that's 2.5 millimeters wide from the edge going out, the full height 15 millimeters. I'm then going to create a 2-point circle from the edges of this, okay? And then I'll trim away some of the interior lines. Then from the center point of that circle, I'll create a 5 millimeter circle. We'll extrude that up. All right, we'll have to check. I believe that extrusion is 10 millimeters. There it is, yep. And we'll add threads then to our holes, because we won't extrude these 5 millimeter holes at M5.8. Okay. Let's go back to our design. Let's create a sketch. I'm going to roll my design over so I can see the bottom. And I'm going to select either side will do, because we're going to mirror our design from one side to the other. I'm going to select this particular foot right there. Okay. And I'm going to create a 2-point rectangle. Create rectangle, 2-point rectangle. Zoom in. There's my corner. I have to use the side of the foot that I chose to sketch on, so I have access to the edges. All right, it's going to be 2.5 millimeters by 15. There we are. Now I'm going to create a 2-point circle. Create circle, 2-point circle. This top edge to this bottom edge. And there we are. I could have created a center circle and just used a midpoint on that line of my rectangle, but I've got to demonstrate the 2-point circle. Now I'll create a center diameter circle. Create circle, center diameter circle, midpoint, 5 millimeters, and enter. Tell you what, I'm going to pause the video now because it will take a third video, and I'll start that in a second.